Hello. I want to show you my spiritual art. I want to describe to you. I have 5 pieces of pottery, and I wanted to just show you instead of explain to you, because you'll just get it as you go. So as an artist, I'm also a person who prays, and I do a type of prayer that's described by different people in different ways depending on what they believe. I'm not super concerned about that. I just want to show you what it looks like because it's spiritual art. Some people say prayer art. So what happened is when I was doing this body of work and I was making my cups, I would become aware of something. My intuition would feel something. It would also see a part of the physicality, and there is a logic to it. To me, it's very logical. Of this impression makes me think of this. And what happens is I just freely lean into that, and knowing that that particular piece of art is for someone. It is there. It's a piece of art that is made to encourage somebody. It is made to hopefully be a part of whatever it is that's going on in their life that I don't even know about. So I have 3 that are going to be for strangers, and I'm going to tell you what my impressions are. And I'm hoping that these 3 pieces of art find their person. What I have found is that I've been doing this for over 20 years. I have been everywhere from with government officials in foreign countries doing this to somebody who might be unhoused, giving them something, and everywhere in between. And what I found is that I love it. I was made for it. I don't really care if I intellectually understand it. It's a part of who I am. And I just release it. The more that I release it, the more joy that it gives me that this is just a part of it. So if you relate to any of that or have any questions about that, you want to talk more about it, you know somebody that might want to be a part, hey, join my channel. I'm going to be doing lives, and I'm going to be doing films that are specifically for releasing that art. So these cups that I'm going to show you, one's not a cup actually, I want to send to the person that speaks to. So let's just get at it, and then you can just go with me along the way. Okay, so this is a vase. Okay, I just want to show it to you. It has a glaze on it, and I was sitting there making some torn edge pots, and I looked down and there were all these pieces. This was a piece, and it has an edge. You can see this was a piece. This was a piece, and they were getting almost too hard. You can see where I held it and hand dipped it. And there's my maker's mark, Jack's on the bottom. And I knew immediately this was a piece of encouraging art for somebody. I looked at it and thought there's no possible way anything good is going to come out of all these broken pieces. And I always know that there's something more on it because my first instinct is to well up and cry. Sometimes I do. The people that know me know, yeah, she's not afraid to let out that. It's a part of expression, and it's a part of my purpose, and it's a part of the gifting. It's not just like random. So I will even feel that. It's a form of creativity and empathy coming together. So I looked at all these pieces of clay and knew somebody thought there's no possible way that all of these broken pieces, the pieces were too hard, and I didn't even want to do it. So what's happening is I'm feeling the feelings and I know that it's not mine. I know I'm there for a moment in time to experience what that people are experiencing and release it. And when I looked at it, I was so discouraged. All I wanted to do was throw the whole thing in the garbage. I just grabbed it and I'm like, nope. And I flopped this together. It's quite beautiful. If you like this type of thing. It has an earthy glaze on it, and this would be beautiful for flowers. I also felt that in that type of a hopelessness, that there's a, I will never ever get flowers from anyone ever again, like never. And this is an encouragement for a person who might feel that way. This should not have held together in the kiln, okay? So if there's a hopelessness to this might not hold together, that's also a part of it. I'm connecting the artist maker part of making it to what I was feeling for this person, and that is creative process, but the spirituality is that it's mixed with prayer. So I want this to encourage someone. That's the extension. I will write all those things out, and usually when I start to write, I'll be able to describe it more. So if you know anybody that would encourage them, that sometimes people actually will say that exact thing, and that's how we know it's theirs. Next, this one. This one I wrote on the bottom of it, and sometimes I wrote scarred. I was making this one, and this piece flopped over. None of the other ones did that. And it reminds me of when people have surgery, and I just knew somebody had surgery and their skin flopped over, and it was ugly to them. They felt so ugly. And I just felt, you're not ugly, you're beautiful, okay? There's the tears, right? There's the emotion. You are not ugly, you're beautiful. So whether somebody got into maybe an accident and but something happened, and there's this folded over, scarred, horrible thing. I want you to know you were thought of, and you were cared for, and you were prayed for, and this is a symbol of that you were not forgotten, and that it's not a little thing, and it's quite beautiful. The cup itself is very lovely. It's just like all the other sets, and this was the one that didn't fit. So this one doesn't have a match, and it didn't feel like it fit anywhere. If you feel excluded, like you don't fit anywhere, and this is for somebody in particular, and this is a reminder that you might be scarred, but you are loved. Speaking of love, this one did not fit in such a, it was so unique, it just stood out of the whole set. It's a little taller, it's a little thinner. And when I made this one, I was like, oh, this is too bad that it doesn't have a soulmate. It doesn't have a buddy. It doesn't have one that's like it. It's a more tumbler type of one. And inside, I just felt impressed to write, it's backwards, but can you see love? L-O-V-E. I used the back of one of my tools. And this was what I felt like for this cup. You were handed a bitter cup, a difficult thing, and you had to drink it all. So some set of circumstances that were difficult. Here's bitter cup, okay? Keep drinking, keep going, because at the bottom, you're going to find the love. Don't worry. Just keep going. Sometimes in life, we get handed things that we don't get the outcomes that we want, and we certainly don't that we need, and that's what bitter cup means. There are times, it symbolizes suffering, right? Is that, oh man, this is bitter, and I do not want to drink this. And so, if you identify with that, this is for you. So, there's love at the bottom of the cup. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. I don't know if you like it. I guess I had somebody told me once. I have an artist card, and was it Bob Ross that said it? Yeah, I think it is. And I also had someone else say something. It's permission to be weird. Like, you're an artist? Hello. People, I look relatively very conventional, but I'm not. Okay, so permission to just be free. How about that? I was like, how about we're free, we're artists, and this is free expression, and everybody's included. So the next one, I know where these two are going. This is a set. This was a set. Do you see how this really doesn't have the vibe of this other set? This clearly took over. So this is a beautiful purple. If you believe in color theory, the spirituality of colors, sometimes a color will speak to me like the color itself. I do know those, and I'm an art history lover. Comes up in art history. But this specifically is about royalty and royalness, and purple is often a color of that, and it symbolizes that. What I find really interesting about colors and symbolism, side note, it is very multicultural. Things translate differently in different ways through different cultures, of course. All different things we can talk about, from language to what is polite, what is impolite. But art is this universal language, and that will often, it's fascinating to me. I love it. I could talk about it and do it all day. Imagine that. That's why I'm talking to you right now. Inside, royalty. And when I looked at how these cups came out, I went, I do not like this. The outside does not match the inside. The glaze on the outside was not thick. It wasn't uniform. We get a dribble right there, and I went, I wished that the outside was as awesome as the inside, and I would have just done that. This is like you want to take the purple. Everything in this cup set, and do you see how I did all these other cups? Like, clearly, I'm skilled enough to make it not do this. So this one really, really stood out to me. And I know who this is for. This is for a couple that I know. I'm only putting it up here because I thought you all would want to see art. I knew immediately who this was for. And so in that frustration, the encouraging part is the purple, you're going to be completely clothed. And in this, and during this time, it's very humbling to have things look not like they are on the inside, on the outside. And have you ever gone through some things like that? Where on the inside, you feel so whole. But on the outside, it just looks like, boy, it doesn't match, and I'm frustrated with what my things that are challenges I'm going through in my life. That's this. There's some misses in the glaze. There's no reason this glaze should have done this. It makes no sense. And so this is encouraging, is that there's a work in process, and to remind you to keep going and don't give up. And even though it's really humbling and humiliating and externally, I know what that's like. I know what it's like to feel ashamed and publicly humiliated, lied about, broke, all kinds of things, all kinds of horrible things. I know what that feels like. It feels awful. And yet, your insides are beautiful. Okay, I'll be sending those to the people that get those. And I have another one that I know who this is for too. Do you see this? Listen, it just happened. It's very unique. The bottom isn't like any other of the bottoms. I scratched this. It was a test cup. And it was a test cup. I had done some torn edges, and this edge didn't tear. It's smooth at the top. And this is going to a person that's an entrepreneur who is outside the box, who's extraordinarily unique. How beautiful is that? And this is the beauty of the uniqueness. This is a cup to remind you that you're very unique, and this cup is your cup. What I loved about this edge is, see how it's not uniform? You can tip it out of that, and specifically for you. So during this time of your creativity and your creations, this was a unique cup just for you. I'm going to write some more out in this note and send that to this person to encourage them. So that's a little bit about my prayer art. People that know me have sometimes gotten just gifts in the mail or on their front porch, or this is what I'm thinking about today. And I have portfolios full of letters returned of, I can't believe that was so where I was at. You saw a secret place of my heart. You felt it. And encourage them. I've been doing this for a long time and I don't talk about it very much. Well, let's make a YouTube channel and tell everybody. I'm certainly not ashamed of that, and I just want to be sure that I am doing what I'm made to do. And I have thank you letters and all kinds of unique circumstances where through the creativity and through my spirituality expressed in this way, that's what I do. So I'm going to be doing that on my YouTube channel. So please email me or message me if you know that needs one of those. You're like, I know a person that would encourage. And so I will try to make that connection. I did, however, notice on my last video, I somehow disabled my comments, and I didn't mean to do that. Oopsie. And I told you that I'm learning. I'm doing everything from my iPhone, and I'm going to get there. I'll do my best. If you're on my Facebook, message me there. If not, can you message people on YouTube? I don't think so. I will figure out how to enable comments. So this could go to anyone, anywhere. So I hope that encourages your heart. Welcome to my studio, and thanks for sharing with me in a little bit of spiritual art.